Dear students, in this class, let us discuss about colligative properties of dilute solution. This in turn is a new topic for you, and you might have heard about several properties like boiling point, melting point, etc. But colligative property is something new for you. Let us first understand what is a colligative property. You know that the properties of most of the solution, certain properties of solution like color depends on both nature and the number of solute, the amount of solute dissolved in a solution. Say for example, you take 1 gram of copper sulfate, dissolve it in water, 1 liter of water, you will find a blue color solution. And if you dissolve, instead of copper sulfate, a nickel sulfate solution, you will get a green colored solution. That means that the color of the solution depends on the nature of the solute which is dissolved in the particular solvent. And also, the intensity of the color depends on the amount of solute dissolved in the particular solvent. Instead of 1 gram of copper sulfate, if you take 10 gram of copper sulfate, the color become more intense. Instead of 1 gram of nickel sulfate, if you take 10 gram of nickel sulfate, the color become very intense green. Okay, so here, color is a normal property which depends both on the nature of the solute and number of solute. Let us forget about that. A colligative property is defined as a property of dilute solution which depends only upon the number of moles of solute dissolved and not on the nature of the solute. I repeat, colligative property is the one, or colligative property is the property of a solution which depends upon the number of moles of solute dissolved and not upon the nature of the solute. Okay, so this is applicable only for dilute solutions, not for a concentrated solutions. Okay, so let us try to understand what does this means. Say for example, there are 4 types of colligative properties. Okay, one is called elevation of boiling point. Number 2, depression of freezing point. Number 3, osmosis, lowering of vapor pressure. And number 4 is the osmotic pressure. These 4 are the colligative properties. So these properties depends only on the number of moles of solute, that is the chemical the amount of solute, not on the nature of solute, that is the chemical composition of the solute. Okay, so I hope you are clear with the definition of colligative property. It is a property which depends on the nature of number of moles of solute and not on the nature of a solute in a solution, and this is applicable for dilute solutions only, and it is the solute which is used is invariably a non-volatile solute. Okay, so by you know already the difference between solute, solvent, and the solution. A solution is made up of solute dissolved in solvent. Okay, in a mixture of substance, one which is present in greater proportion is called a solvent, and one which is present in lesser proportion, lesser amount, is called the solute. Okay, solvent with solution, solute gives you a solution. Okay, so let us also recollect this one important basic. Okay, now let us study about the colligative properties one by one. First, let us look into elevation of boiling point as a colligative property. Okay, what is elevation of boiling point? When a non-volatile solute is added into a solution, a non-volatile solute is added into a solvent, the boiling point of the solvent increases to some extent. This is called elevation of boiling point. Is it clear? So to understand this, I will give you a very simple example which you experience in at your home in your everyday life. Okay, so take up a bowl of water and heat it to boil. As soon as the water boils, okay, we add little amount of sodium chloride, salt. Okay, so this is what we generally do it while making cooking our rice. I hope you might have some cooking experience at home. So then when you add a little amount of sodium chloride salt into a boiling water, what we generally observe is that the water subsides to boil. The water subsides to boil for a few seconds, and then after some time the boiling once again starts. Okay, so what happened when you add a sodium chloride, little amount of sodium chloride in the water, is the elevation of boiling point. Okay, so you know when a liquid will boil, when the temperature is, when the vapor pressure of the liquid is equal to the atmospheric pressure. Okay, every liquid has got a vapor pressure. Okay, the thrust, when you are boiling a liquid, the water, the liquid evaporates, water evaporates, acetone, something will, the liquid will evaporate. Okay, so the evaporation properties mainly is based on the vapor pressure of the solution. So the vapor pressure of the solution rises upon heating the liquid, and when this vapor pressure become equal to that of atmospheric pressure, then the liquid will boil. Okay, so now I give you a case of boiling of a pure solvent and a solution. So in which I have taken temperature in the x-axis, vapor pressure in the y-axis. So upon boiling, the temperature slowly increases. By the way, the vapor pressure of the liquid also increases. Okay, so look at this. So this is the a curve of time. This is a curve of time for a pure solvent. Pure solvent. Okay, so the vapor pressure is noted as P. Vapor pressure is noted as a P for the solvent. Okay, and So when upon increasing the temperature, the vapor pressure rises, okay, and this temperature is noted as the boiling point of pure solvent. Say T0, okay, is noted as a T0, okay. So now I take up a solution. This is the boiling point curve of a solution in which a non-volatile solute is dissolved in a solvent to make this solution. Upon increasing the temperature, vapor pressure increases, and at particular point T, the liquid or the solution boils. Okay, so this you can observe that the boiling point of solution is greater. Boiling point of the solution is greater than that of a pure solvent. So upon adding a solute to a non-volatile solute into a solvent, the boiling point increases. Okay. So this diagram shows the elevation of a boiling point. The temperature T0 minus T is, or delta T, is called elevation of boiling point. Okay, is it clear? So I will. Let us recollect what we have studied. This is a vapor pressure temperature relationship of a particular solvent or a solution. The lowest, the upper curve is the vapor pressure temperature relationship of a solvent. Okay, upon addition of a solute, it becomes a solution, and the vapor temperature boiling point is greater when compared to that of a pure solvent. Okay. Now consider, let us derive or prove that the elevation of boiling point is a colligative property. Okay, so elevation of boiling point depends on number of moles of solute. Okay, so you know ideal equation, Clapeyron equation from the thermodynamics, okay, which shows that ln P0 by P, which is equal to delta HV by R T0 minus T by T0 whole square, or we can call this as a T0 minus T by T0. So this is ideal the thermodynamic equation showing the relationship between P0, the vapor pressure, and the temperature of a particular solution. Okay, so T0 is the boiling point of a solvent, T is the boiling point of solute, T is the boiling point of a solution, P0 is the vapor pressure of solvent and a solution, delta HV is the latent heat of vaporization of a particular solution. Okay, R is a gas constant. Okay, so let us write this equation as ln P0 by P is equal to delta HV. So this T0 minus T is noted as delta T, and T and T0 more or less the same. The difference is very less. Okay, and hence I can, by equation, I can write this as T0 square. I write this as T0 square. Okay, now let us take up this part of the equation. Okay, ln P0 by P is equal to minus ln P0 by P. So I have just changed this P0 by P to P by P0. Okay, so I have put a negative symbol, minus ln. So this can be again written minus ln, okay, P0 minus P0. Can I write this way? This equation can be expanded this way, or you can write this first minus ln, okay, okay. So if I expand this, what I will get? P0 minus P0 minus of minus plus P. Okay, so this gets cancelled, this becomes P. So I will get once again minus ln P0 minus P by P0. Okay, so let me correct a small mistake. So I have to write this way. Okay, so this is P0 as 1 minus. Okay, so if this is the case, then if I multiply this by cross side, that become P0 minus P minus P0. So this gets inside, so P0 minus P0 minus of minus plus P. Okay, so that become P by P0. So this is what we have here. Okay, so let me write this ln of 1 minus x ln of 1 minus x is equal to minus x. So keep this formula in the mind. So look into this, ln of 1 minus x. So this is equal to ln of 1 minus x is equal to minus x. Okay, so I have to write this minus x is equal to P0 minus P by P0. Okay, so that equation now becomes minus P0 plus P by P0, which is equal to P0 P minus P0 by P0. Okay, is it clear? So let me correct a small mistake in this equation. I told you ln of 1 minus x is equal to minus x. So this should be, minus is already there. The minus is already there. So this becomes minus P0 minus P by P0. So the equation becomes equal to minus of minus plus P0 minus P by P0. Okay. So what does this say? No, ln P0 by P is equal to relative lowering of vapor pressure. P0 is the vapor pressure of a pure solvent and P is the vapor pressure of a solution. Then P0 minus P by P0 denotes the relative lowering of vapor pressure of a particular solution. Okay. Now let us so from the Rawls law, the relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to the mole fraction of a solute in a solution. P0 minus P by P0 is the relative lowering of vapor pressure. this is equal to mole fraction of a solute in a solution. Say you have N2 moles of solute dissolved in N1 moles of solvent. Then the number of moles of solute in a solution is equal to N2 by N1 plus N2. Okay. So the relative lowering of vapor pressure of a solution depends on number of moles of solute in a solvent. So therefore it is equal to N2 by N1 plus N2. Okay. Say this N1, N2 is very less. N2 is, since the solution is a dilute solution. For dilute solution, N2 is far less than N1. We take only little quantity of a solute, okay, to dissolve it in a huge volume of a solvent. So N2 is comparatively very less. So and hence I can write this equation as P0 minus P is equal to N2 by N1. N1 is neglected from this equation. Okay. So now let me take up the previous equation. Ln P0 by P is equal to delta HV divided by R delta T by T0 squared. Okay, so this is the equation we have already known, which is called Clapeyron equation. Okay, so let me now, instead of ln P0 by P, let me write this N2 by N1. N2 by N1 is equal to delta HV by R into delta T by T0 square. Okay. So from this equation, let me find out what is delta T. Delta T is the elevation of boiling point. So now delta T in this equation is equal to N2 by N1 or T0 squared divided by delta HV. Okay. So where N2 is equal to W2 by M2. N2 is the mole fraction of a solute, which is equal to weight of the solute divided by molecular weight of the solute. Okay. Similarly, N1 is equal to W1 by M1. W1 by M1. Weight of the solute divided by weight of the solvent divided by molecular weight of the solvent, which is nothing but the number of moles of a solvent. Okay. So let me substitute this in this equation. So delta T becomes, N2 becomes W, let me write this RT0 squared by delta HV. Okay. And instead of N2, let me write this W2 by M2. Okay. Instead of N2, I write W2 by M2. Instead of N1, let me write W1 by M1. So this becomes W1 by M1. M1 goes to the numerator. W1 by M1. Okay. So what is this W2 by M2? So W2 by M2 is nothing but is the small m, that is molecular mole, is nothing but the m mole of nothing but m mole of solute. Okay, so if m mole of solute dissolved in 1 kilogram or 1000 gram of solvent, okay, so this is W1 is equal to 1. Okay, so let us try to understand. So I have rearranged this equation, and instead of N2 I have put W2 by M2. Instead of N1 I have put W1 by M1. So W2 by M2 is called a mole of solute. Okay, where W1 in this equation is equal to small, 1 kg. Okay, so this equation now becomes delta T is equal to RT0 squared by delta HV into M, okay, into capital M1 whole divided by W1. Okay, so W1 is 1, so that becomes equal to 1. RT0 small m capital M1 divided by delta H. So this equation can be further written. Okay, so this when m is equal to 1, that is when the mole fraction of solute is equal to 1, number of moles of solute, or when the number of moles of solute is equal to 1, then this equation becomes delta T is equal to RT0 squared divided by delta HV into small m. Okay, so in this equation, this can be RT0 delta HV is a constant, so delta T is equal to KB into m. Delta T is equal to KB into m. So this KB is called ebullioscopic constant. Okay, KB is called a ebullioscopic constant, which is KB is equal to RT0 squared by delta HV. Okay, or this KB can be called as molar elevation constant. It can be called as molar elevation constant. So how do we prove that the boiling point of elevation is a colligative property? Look at this equation or this equation. Okay, so this delta T is the elevation of boiling point, is related to m, which is nothing but the number of moles of solute, which is nothing but number of moles of solute. Okay, and it is independent of the nature of the solute. Okay, also you can see here, okay, it depends on delta T is equal to directly proportional to m, which is nothing but number of moles of solute. So this equation shows that the elevation of boiling point is a colligative property. Okay, so let me recollect once again. So when a non-volatile solute is added in little amount to a large volume of a solvent to prepare a dilute solution, the boiling point of a solution increases when compared to that of a pure solvent. The increase in the boiling point upon addition of a non-volatile solute, little amount of non-volatile solute, is called elevation of boiling point. So we have to prove that the elevation of boiling point is a colligative property. It depends on only on the number of moles of solute and not on the nature of a solute. Okay, so to prove that, we have taken a Clausius-Clapeyron equation, and we have derived a part of relative lowering of vapor pressure P0 by P, and then which is compared to Raoult's law. Relative lower of vapor pressure is directly proportional to number of moles of solute. So both relative lowering of vapor pressure and the number of moles of solute in Raoult's law is compared. And finally, we derived an equation delta T equal to RT0 by delta HV m into m1. RT0 by delta HV is called a ebullioscopic constant, molar elevation constant or ebullioscopic constant. When the number of moles is equal to, when number of moles of solute is 1, then this becomes Kb is become equal to molar ebullioscopic constant. Elevation of boiling point is equal to elevation constant. Okay. So from this we have proved the elevation of boiling point is a colligative property. So now let us see it in the next class, remaining part in the next class.